This video is not like anyone I have created in the past. I've lied to you. I've come on here on this channel and I've been my happy-go-lucky self. Always something positive to share, always the life of the party, at least life of the channel, and sharing with you tips and tools and resources to navigate life as a newcomer, all of that. But there's this other side too that is tired. I typically would do like a how-to happy-go-lucky immigrant journey video, but this is not it. This is definitely not it. It's been more than 13 months in Canada's version of lockdown. I can give or take the longest lockdown ever in the world because of the pandemic, and I'm not gonna lie, it's getting to me. So I guess I'm just here to chit chat with you. There is no nuggets to be taken out of this, no how-to steps. It's just real, and I feel like tired of being in lockdown forever, and is beginning to ask, is life in Toronto worth it? So I don't have any like big nuggets for you to take here today. I just wanted to share the flip side a little bit more, and I don't know if this is exactly it because I'm obviously recording, so I'm in a better mindset, but I wanted to share like the frustrations of life in Toronto. And I've been asking myself over the past couple of weeks, is it even really worth it, especially in this pandemic, in the COVID year? So for folks who don't know, Canada has been in a very long lockdown. I think it's like the longest in the world now. Like we've had like maybe 13 months or so or more of lockdown, and we just entered another one. The way we do it is actually very fun. It's like 4 weeks and then 2 weeks extra. And I'm by no means complaining. So I know I get a lot of like, oh, if you don't like it, get away from this country or whatever. Like this is not a complaining video of sorts. It's to share the reality of life in Toronto. Okay, so to start with Toronto, like Canada generally is very boring if you are a happy-go-lucky person. And honestly, the Canadians who are like, oh my god, it's not, you don't know, that's honestly, I'm sharing my opinion, it's boring, okay? I'm from a lively place, okay? Hit me in the DM and you find out. So a lot of people choose city life because they want some aspect, especially when you're young, of a part of you that feels like you're alive, like doing stuff and going places. And right now in this lockdown, you can't do that. I just wanted to be clear. I'm not denying that there is a pandemic and people are dying from COVID. That will be really insensitive of me. That's not what this is. I don't know, like what's going on in other countries, like how are people managing this? But I'm just sharing the realities of what happens to other people. And if you're watching this and you have a family member or somebody you really love who has suffered from COVID or has passed from COVID, I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. I send my love. This video is by no means not saying that the pandemic is not real and COVID is not real. I 110% believe it's real. I'm just sharing what I feel about the lockdown. And I honestly, this is hard for me too, because I'm a very opinionated person, but I don't like to share my opinions because I do understand that everybody will have different opinions, and I'm definitely not in the habit of feeling like I need to defend my opinions to anybody. That's most likely or most times why I don't share them. However, I just wanted to share with you that there are a lot of people, myself included, who have gotten through really, really low times in their lives, and especially being on a lockdown. I honestly thought that at first, when the lockdown started, I'm going to a year and more, I thought, honestly, it's not so bad. As an extrovert, I get to manage my time and the energy I give to people. But now it's gotten to this point where you're just like, you can't plan anything, you can't do anything. I got lucky in 2020. Like if you're subscribed, you know this, that I actually was able to do a wedding, actually 2 weddings. It wasn't lucky. Let me rephrase, God. I got blessed. God helped me and my family to just figure out all of that in the pandemic situation. So I got a glimmer of hope and glory, and I'm not complaining. I'm going to say this again. I'm just sharing. So I guess the part of the whole Toronto experience is you chose city life, you're paying city bills, and you can't experience any of that. So bills really haven't changed. My rent hasn't changed. My insurance hasn't changed. All of that stuff is still city expenses, but you can't really maximize any of that, right? And it's more than a year now, and I think that's why we can talk about this. But also, you can't afford, and now you're like stuck in small spaces too, because if you live in Toronto, most of the housing, I mean, mine is not the typical size, but a lot of housing, especially if you live in condos, is small size and tiny, and people are having to work from home. So but now people are now considering getting bigger spaces and bigger houses and all of that, but then the pricing of the Canadian real estate market is nothing to write home about. If you haven't heard about that, there's a bunch of articles. I might actually just share some talking about like how the market is insanely crazy. Actually, I don't even know if anybody even is listening to this. If you're still listening at this point, let me know in the comments, because this is honestly, this is novel for me. I don't do chit chat, I don't do rants and all of that. So I just felt like I've gotten to this point where I want to get to know you guys more, and I feel like in order to do that, I should share a little bit more about my thoughts and opinions. Anyways, so the real estate market is really bad. People are still paying bills and paying the cost of living in the city, but you can't access a lot of those things. So that's interesting, one. But also you can't really afford anywhere else now because the prices have gone through the roof. But again, I really feel for people who are single and cannot live with anybody else, or rather are not living with anybody else right now, because you literally are you yourself and alone with your thoughts. You don't even have opportunities to go to social spaces, like even places of worship, because I think those have been maxed to like 10 or something as of this moment when this video is being recorded. So that, again, a lot of people are showing, young people especially, showing signs of depression, anxiety, especially Black folks too, who otherwise have not had, for a lot of Black folks who have not had access to help when it comes to like mental help, and because it's like stigma, there's a stigma around that. But I would say honestly, like, try therapy. I'm Nigerian, like my parents were like, what is that? What is therapy? But there's a lot of agencies and services that allow for marginalized, I hate that word, underrepresented folks to get access to therapy and help in a time like this. Just like, because some of us have been taught to minimize whatever we're feeling or going through, like, oh, there's real issues, there's like third world issues, whatever is going in your mind, in your head, you can figure it out. And I get it, for a lot of our lives, we'll figure it out, but I feel like that's also trauma, and you need to like solve all of that. If not, you're just pushing doomsday. So try it. And the thing about therapy is, it's not like people think it's forever. It's not forever. It's like just a couple sessions just to help you get through this hump. And if you're employed, it's great because it's covered under your insurance. So again, the business person in me is like, don't leave stuff like that on the table, which is access to insurance. And I would say open up to your friends more. You'll be surprised. Like, if you talk to people, share with them that you're going through stuff. If you can, like, if you can bring yourself to that point, just so that people can give you more space, can give you grace, but also tell them what you need. I'll say to check on your friends, especially the ones who are typically happy, like, and go lucky. It's like they are going through stuff and don't know how to share, because there's this perception of them that they can have low times. So check on them, but also ask people, like, how would you like me to help you? Do you want me to call you right now or later? Do you want me to just pray for you? Ask people and just give people grace. Like, if people are acting out in a time like this, I'll say give people grace. Yeah. So what else is it about, like, Toronto? Real estate market is crazy. We're stuck in small spaces and having to work from home. We don't know when the lockdown is going to be open or when we can travel again. Yeah, that is Toronto. So again, not complaining. I absolutely love this city, and I know that we're still the best country in the world. We're going to get to a place where we can, again, safely have fun. I just wanted to share with anybody who is feeling low in Toronto right now, like, or in the city or in Canada right now, and you're feeling alone. I'm praying for you. I know, for real, like, I am praying for you, and I hope this lifts your spirit some way to know that you're not alone. This too will definitely pass, and we'll see each other on the other end. Just take it one day at a time. And I hope that these policies, that they can actually figure out what they're doing. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to chat about. Is Toronto worth it in 2021? I don't know. I'm personally thinking about moving out the city. You should check out my other regular videos where I actually talk about, like, cost of living in Toronto, comparing it to Vancouver, and other stuff, like helpful content. But again, some people might find this helpful, so I will stop my rant now, and thank you for just like listening, I guess. So if this is helpful in any ways, I don't know how, please subscribe to the channel. The link is right there. Usually I typically talk about resources to help professional new immigrants thrive, and this one was a little different. I wanted to rant and just like talk to you a little bit more. Let's be friends. Let me know in the comment section what your takeaway was or is, and then we can continue the conversation. If you like it, like it. If you love it, love it. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a blessed week.